jumping away for the Walking the Courses Novices hurdle over 2 miles, 2.5 furlongs. And they will jump a total of 10 flights with the market leader Abbreviate, the race leader, over the opening obstacle, where there were a couple of rather slow jumps. One was put in by Hayup Ashy, and at the back end of the field, 2 Jabs was also less than fluent as they head on now towards the second flight, and Abbreviate is the one who sets the pace. Booted into flight number 2 and came up nicely, and they once again are all safe. At the back though, 2 Jabs not really warming to the task that soon as they quicken on now towards the third. So it is Abbreviate from Sarki's City, and then up along the inside, Viva takes that in third position, with not too far off them Hayup Ashy, and then a little wider out on the track, the dark blue sleeves, spots on the cap, Mr. Snoozy, and wider still is Travertine, with not too far off the pace either the last bar, that one now just preceding those 3 slightly wider runners as they swing right-handed out of the back straight for the first time. Paddy's Field is pugged away down along the inside running rails, chased a further 3 lengths back by Snow Prince, who's in the red and yellow colours. And well back in the field then, Frightened Rabbit with the corner over towards the inside. Bon Question, another one who's well down as they straighten up for home on the opening occasion. Duke de Seville is in second last, and the back marker is 2 Jabs. There would be around about 12 lengths covering first to last as the field race on into the home straight, and now on the approach to flight at number 4. Numbers 4 and 5, the 2 in this line. They do come up rather quickly once they've got to the first of them. Abbreviate never really going to meet that on that cleaner stride, and rather clattered his way through the top. David Bass sitting tight, coming to the next flight with ears pricked. Abbreviate is over that safely enough, and all of the others landing safely also, although there was quite a bad mistake made at the back end of the field by the con. And a little bit detached at the moment is 2 Jabs. So they're becoming increasingly stretched out as up past the stands they come for the first time. A circuit left to go in this Walking the Courses Novices hurdle, and Abbreviate is in front and out of trouble by around about 3/4 of a length to Sarki City racing in second, and then up the rails Vivar is into third. A little wider out to Travertine, and Barry Geraghty, his only ride here this afternoon, is racing up there in company with the last bar. Another 2 lengths away then to find at Paddy's Field as they venture on out into the back. Mr. Snoozy is following those, and back in behind Mr. Snoozy is Frightened Rabbit, ahead of Bon Question as they now come up and over the first going down the far side, and the leader was much more fluent than the second placed runner there. Abbreviate continuing out in front and racing enthusiastically. He completely outjumped Sarki City then at that first hurdle going down the side. Here they come to the second of them down here, and Sarki City that time putting in a pretty decent leap up to the outside, has got to within around about a half length of Abbreviate, with back in behind them Vivar still travelling nicely with off the bridle now the last bar. Paddy's Field has angled a bit wider now as they cross the next flight, and on the wide outside is Travertine, and these are now moving a little way ahead of the remainder. Frightened Rabbit is heading off the rest in advance of Bon Question, and then Mr. Snoozy at a very long gap back to everything else as they turn right-handed out of the far straight. And of course the rain that we've had here over the last few hours has made the ground ever some more testing, and as they race back towards home now, they're becoming a bit more stretched out, and in terms of wind purposes they're thinning out, with Abbreviate in front but only narrowly. Sarki City in the purple and white colours has now moved on by Abbreviate, but only just, with on the outside Paddy's Field looking to join in. Vivar under Richard Johnson, the white and dark blue check jacket, is also now beginning to mount his challenge, with Frightened Rabbit in the black colours picking rivals off one by one, and that one staying on quite nicely. A little gap then developing to Bon Question and a fading the last bar. Down they come towards the second last. Abbreviate's race is run. It is Sarki City who has the advantage over Vivar, Frightened Rabbit and Paddy's Field. 4 of them now at the second last. Not a great deal to choose between any of them. Sarki City now overtaken by on the near side Frightened Rabbit, and it's Frightened Rabbit into the lead now from Vivar, then Paddy's Field, who needed a better jump than he got at the final flight. Sarki City still trying hard to box on. Just over a furlong left to go on the flat. Frightened Rabbit then, the newcomer from Keith Dalglish's stable, is showing in front from Sarki City, is attempting to rally. Paddy's Field down the outside is thundering home. Paddy's Field now getting up from in second place Frightened Rabbit, and into the closing stages Paddy's Field, and Nico de Boinville, his only ride here today. He'll make it count. Ben Pauling trains the winner. Paddy's Field won it 4 lengths. from Frightened Rabbit. A really good debut effort back in second, and then Saki City, who's up with the pace throughout. A little gap developed back to Viva, and in behind that one, Bon Question.
Yeah, fluctuating finish there, wasn't it? And it was Paddy's Field who came out of the muddy field to win 3-1. This one for Gold Cup winning rider Nico de Boinville and informed trainer Ben Palling from Bolton on the Water. Paddy's Field won it. I'm sure he was big in running. Frightened Rabbits run a stormer, travelled really well. Long distance traveller for Keith Dalgleish, and Saki City, having raced prominently along with Abbreviate, who dropped away. Saki City has finished third. But David Cleary, Paddy's Field, your winning selection. Congrats.
Yes.
Never in doubt, was it?
Well, no. I mean, I like the way he picked up after 3 out when he got to the heels of them, and then he's taken forever, and he's not looked very gamely picking up in the straight, but he's stayed on strongly in the end. But when you look at what second and third, Frightened Rabbit, who in terms of physique is very aptly named, looked an unlikely sort for hurdling on pedigree, really. Was only very lowly rated on the flat, but has run a stormer first time for Keith Dalgleish. To take it from the start, 2 jabs is in trouble straight away. He's not jumped or travelled, and I suspect it's back to the drawing board with him. Another one to pick up early on, Travertine in the JP McManus colours on the outside. Barry Geraghty keen to take him wide. He's been quite keen, but once he comes under pressure on the second circuit, the response is very disappointing, and he's not really going the right way at the moment over hurdles. In the early stages, the winner is tucked away on the inside in about 5th place. Vivas, who runs quite well until the last, is just